Love the Eagles as much as we do? Then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. Rumors are swirling in Philadelphia, and the Eagles fan base can feel the tension in the air like a storm about to break over Lincoln Financial Field. According to Inside Whispers, head coach Nick Sirianni has reportedly told the front office that he doesn't want Dallas Goedert in the Eagles' locker room anymore. Yes, that's right. The same Dallas Goedert, who's been one of the most consistent tight ends in the league, suddenly finds himself at the center of a controversy no one saw coming. This isn't just about performance. People close to the team are hinting that there's been a growing disconnect between Sirianni's coaching philosophy and Goedert's attitude toward his role in the offense. Over the past few weeks, subtle body language on the sidelines and tense exchanges during team meetings have allegedly fueled speculation that something deeper is going on. Eagles insiders claim Sirianni's patience has worn thin, and when that happens in Philly, history shows the outcome is never pretty. Fans are now wondering, is this about football, or has it become personal? Because if Sirianni truly wants Goedert out, this could reshape not just the locker room, but the entire offensive identity of the Eagles moving forward. Behind the scenes, this situation reportedly started months ago, long before the latest media buzz caught wind of it. Sources say that during the offseason, Sirianni made it clear he wanted to modernize the offense, leaning more into speed and spacing rather than relying on the traditional tight end-heavy schemes that define past Eagles playbooks. But Goedert, who's built his reputation as a physical, old-school tight end who thrives on contact and short yardage dominance, wasn't entirely on board with the shift. According to people familiar with the dynamic, Sirianni pushed for more flexibility. He wanted Goedert to adapt, move more into hybrid formations, even line up wide when necessary. Goedert, however, preferred sticking to what's worked for him since he entered the league. The disagreement, initially brushed off as creative differences, apparently started festering, creating small fractures in the communication between player and coach. In the world of professional football, those fractures rarely heal on their own. Once the trust begins to fade, it's only a matter of time before rumors turn into action, and that's exactly what seems to be happening here in Philly. Now, fans on social media have already started taking sides. Some argue that Nick Sirianni is making a mistake by even entertaining the idea of parting ways with Dallas Goedert, who's been one of the most dependable pass catchers the team has had in years. They point to his chemistry with quarterback Jalen Hurts, his blocking ability, and his leadership presence as reasons to keep him around. Others, however, say this might actually be a bold move from Sirianni, a sign that he's not afraid to make uncomfortable decisions in pursuit of his vision for the team's future. After all, Sirianni has been under pressure lately, with critics questioning whether his offense has become too predictable. Maybe moving on from Goedert is part of a larger strategy, a calculated risk to inject new energy into the playbook. Still, this is Philadelphia we're talking about, where fans live and breathe every decision like it's a personal matter. The city's media machine is already in overdrive, analyzing every word, every facial expression, and every cryptic post on social media to figure out what's really going on behind closed doors. It's worth remembering that Goedert's relationship with the Eagles hasn't always been smooth sailing. While he's consistently produced on the field, there have been whispers for years about his fiery personality clashing with coaching styles. He's a competitor through and through, someone who doesn't sugarcoat things and expects the same intensity from everyone around him. That attitude can be both a blessing and a curse in a locker room full of big egos and fragile chemistry. When things are going well, that fire inspires the team. But when frustrations build up, it can spark confrontations that spill over into practice sessions or even games. Some insiders claim that during a recent team meeting, Sirianni and Goedert had a heated exchange over offensive play calling and target distribution. No punches were thrown, but the atmosphere reportedly turned icy afterward. If that story holds any truth, it could explain why Sirianni's stance has hardened to the point of wanting him gone. The Eagles' front office, caught in the middle, now faces a tough decision: back their head coach's vision or risk losing credibility with a star player who still has plenty left in the tank. The ripple effects of this situation could extend far beyond the Eagles organization. Rival teams are undoubtedly watching closely, sensing potential opportunity if Goedert truly becomes available. Imagine a player of his caliber suddenly on the market. Contenders like the Bengals, Chiefs, or even the Cowboys would jump at the chance to add a proven, physical tight into their arsenal. But from Philadelphia's standpoint, trading him would send shockwaves through the fan base and possibly signal a dramatic shift in team philosophy. Sirianni's leadership style has always been passionate, sometimes even volatile, and this decision could either cement his authority or completely backfire if the team's performance dips afterward. And let's not forget, Jalen Hurts has leaned heavily on Goedert during crucial drives. Taking away that safety blanket might alter Hurts' rhythm more than anyone expects. The locker room morale could also take a hit, especially among veterans who respect Goedert's work ethic. So while Sirianni might believe he's making a strategic move, the fallout could test just how much control he truly has over his players and the culture he's tried so hard to build. The most fascinating part of all this, though, is how eerily familiar it feels. The Eagles have a long history of high-profile internal rifts, from Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb back in the day, to more recent locker room tensions under Doug Peterson. It's almost as if drama is woven into the fabric of Philadelphia football. Intensity breeds conflict, and conflict keeps the city's sports narrative alive. Sirianni's reported stance on Goedert could be the next chapter in that never-ending saga of passion versus pragmatism. And if there's one thing fans know, it's that Philly doesn't forgive easily when they feel one of their own is being pushed out unfairly. Yet if Sirianni can somehow turn this controversy into a catalyst for renewed focus and unity, maybe it'll be remembered as the moment he truly took ownership of this team. For now, though, the whispers keep growing louder, the speculation more intense, and the future of Dallas Goedert in midnight green looks shakier than ever. One thing's for sure, whatever happens next, it won't be quiet in Philadelphia for long. If there's one thing we know about Philadelphia sports, it's that nothing ever stays quiet for long. The moment whispers started about Nick Sirianni wanting Dallas Goedert out, the entire sports media world lit up like a Christmas tree. Radio hosts debated it for hours, fans flooded social media with theories, and even former players started dropping cryptic comments hinting that things haven't been right in that locker room for a while. The narrative has exploded beyond football. It's become a full-blown soap opera about leadership, ego, and identity. Some insiders claim this isn't just about one disagreement, but a culmination of months of subtle clashes, missed practices, sideline frustrations, and unspoken resentment building up between coach and player. Sirianni, known for his emotional coaching style, reportedly sees this as a necessary change to maintain authority. Goedert, on the other hand, feels like he's being disrespected after giving his all to the franchise. It's a clash between pride and power, and right now, it's tearing through the heart of a team that once prided itself on unity. The Eagles might still be winning games, but behind the scenes, this drama is becoming the real story everyone can't stop talking about. The locker room, according to reports, is now walking on eggshells. Players don't want to pick sides, but whispers say small factions are starting to form, some aligning with Goedert, others quietly backing Sirianni's tough love approach. That kind of divide can be lethal for a football team's chemistry. Veteran players reportedly tried to mediate, reminding everyone that personal issues can't bleed into game day, but it's easier said than done. The emotional undercurrent is undeniable. Every practice, every film session carries that silent tension where one wrong word could set everything off. Sources even claim that Jalen Hurts has taken on the role of peacemaker, trying to keep both men focused on football, not feelings. But how long can that last? This isn't just a disagreement about play calling, it's about trust. Once a player feels his coach no longer believes in him, something fundamental breaks. Goedert's body language has changed, Sirianni's tone has shifted, and the cameras are starting to catch those subtle moments that speak louder than any official statement ever could. It's a slow-motion unraveling that feels impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, the front office finds itself in the most uncomfortable position imaginable. On one side, they've got Nick Sirianni, the fiery coach who's helped revive the Eagles' culture with his passion and energy. On the other, they've got Dallas Goedert, a proven player who's still performing at a high level and remains a fan favorite. Executives know that choosing one side over the other will send shockwaves through the organization. If they back Sirianni, they risk alienating veterans and shaking locker room stability. If they back Goddard, they might undermine the authority of their head coach right before the playoff push. It's a no-win situation, the kind that defines front office reputations. Rumor has it that internal meetings have already turned tense, with management urging both sides to cool off before anything becomes irreversible. But this is football, not politics. Emotions run deep, egos run deeper, and when pride gets hurt, logic often disappears. The Eagles' general manager now faces one of the toughest calls of his tenure. Do you double down on your coach's vision or protect the legacy of a player who's given everything to your team? Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Around the league, other teams are watching this saga unfold like sharks circling the water. The moment word leaked that Sirianni wanted Goddard gone, calls reportedly started flooding into the Eagles' front office from teams curious about his availability. The Chiefs, Ravens, and even the Jets are rumored to have shown preliminary interest. Why wouldn't they? Goddard is a rare mix of size, toughness, and reliability, a tight end who can block like an offensive lineman and catch like a wide receiver. If Sirianni truly wants him out, someone else will happily make him the centerpiece of their offense. But this also puts the Eagles in a tricky position. Do they trade him now and risk disrupting their chemistry mid-season, or wait until the offseason when emotions cool and leverage increases? Some analysts think Sirianni is bluffing, trying to send a message rather than actually push for a trade. Others believe he's dead serious, determined to reshape the team in his image no matter who gets hurt in the process. Either way, the rumor mill keeps spinning, and the NFL world can't look away from this slow-burn drama unfolding in real time. For Dallas Goedert himself, this might be the toughest moment of his career. Imagine being one of the cornerstones of a franchise, only to wake up one day and realize your coach doesn't want you anymore. That's not just a professional setback, it's personal. People close to Goddard say he's frustrated but determined to stay focused on football. He's been showing up to practice, keeping quiet in front of cameras, and letting his performance speak for itself. But behind that calm exterior, there's no doubt this situation has taken an emotional toll. He's human. He knows fans are talking, reporters are speculating, and teammates are whispering. The question now is how he responds. Does he fight to prove Sirianni wrong? Or does he start quietly preparing for life after Philadelphia? Because make no mistake, if this rift doesn't heal soon, it could define both men's careers in ways they never expected. Goddard's legacy with the Eagles, once so solid, now hangs in the balance. And every game feels like another audition, not just for his next contract, but for his place in the team's history. And as for Nick Sirianni, this could become the defining moment of his coaching career. In the NFL, how you handle internal conflict often says more about your leadership than any win-loss record ever could. If he truly believes moving on from Goddard is what's best for the team, then he's gambling his credibility on that decision. Fans will either call him a visionary or a villain, depending on how the season ends. If the Eagles keep winning, people will praise him for having the courage to make hard choices. But if the offense sputters, if Jalen Hurts struggles without his trusted tight end, the backlash will be brutal. Philadelphia sports culture doesn't forgive easily, and Sirianni knows that. Every press conference, every word he says now will be dissected to exhaustion. The truth is, whether Goddard stays or goes, something fundamental between player and coach has already changed. Trust is cracked, and once that happens, it's hard to rebuild. So the only thing left to ask is this. When the dust finally settles, who will still be standing in midnight green? And who will be wearing a new jersey under the bright lights of another NFL city? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.